Good Saturday morning, everybody. I've had an interesting Friday, but before I get into that, I just want to say thank you all for the birthday wishes. They were very much appreciated, and I thank God that I was able to live to see 39 years old. Well, like I was saying prior, that my last night was kind of crazy. Haven't been to sleep whatsoever. As many of you know, I have a son with autism and intellectual disabilities, bipolar disorder. He has panic attacks, and they're all very much different. Each time he experiences episodes with it. Last night, I gave him his medication at 9:30 p.m. Usually, Jeremiah, within 20-30 minutes of taking the medication, is sound asleep. But last night, that didn't happen, to say the least. He, in the earlier part of the evening, everything was kind of cool, but I could tell he just was not himself. We ate dinner and he washed the dishes up for me, but it was like he cannot be still. You go into his bedroom and he's sitting there on the bed looking at his yearbook, and at the same time he's got the iPad on YouTube looking at different things on there. He has the TV on in the room. He also had a DVD player playing. And I had gone into his room several times during last night, and I was like, Jeremiah, you need to try to calm down. He does this little nervously laugh type of deal. I was in the midst of trying to roller set my hair, and I didn't even get a third of the way through doing my hair, and I hear, some kind of thump sounding noise in Jeremiah's room. And I had gone in there several times because he was making noise in the room, but when you would go in there, it's like he would freeze in his tracks, and I would say, what are you in here doing? And he would be like, nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Ain't nobody in here, as if somebody else were in the room. And I'm like, I know there's nobody in here. There's nobody in here but Jeremiah. And you're the only one that could be making all this noise. And I was like, is anything bothering you? He told me no. I said, are you sure? He said no. And he had taken off his t-shirt. Like, sometimes that medicine makes him get really, really sweaty. And he just took off the t-shirt. And I, close the door, go about trying to finish doing my hair. And before I get out of the room, he's already doing the same thing all over again. So I'll stop in my tracks to try to catch and see what exactly he's doing. Where's the noise coming from? And so I opened the door as I'd done, previously, several times prior to the last time I went into his room. And so I walk into the room and he's got the drawer open. He had on a pair of socks, but he was changing those socks into a pair of hospital socks. And I just kind of watched him do that, and I said, what are you in here doing? And again, he proceeds to tell me nothing. Alright, is anything bothering you, Jeremiah? Nope, I'm okay. And I know he wasn't okay. So I step over at the foot of his bed, and I'm looking to the left side of the bed and trying to see if he had a ball or something in there that he was throwing around or whatever. No, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary in the room. And in the middle of me, like, checking the other side of the bed, Jeremiah was behind me. And then he, like, made this really weird, like, jumping toward me. And I turned around and I said, "What are you doing?" And he didn't say anything to me, but he had this weird look on his face, and he proceeds to grab my arm like he's gonna tickle me or something. And I'm like, but he had me gripped really tight, and I told him, I said, "Jeremiah, let me go." And it seemed like the more I would say, "Jeremiah, let me go," Jeremiah would grip me even tighter. To the point where I had to call Ben in to help get me away from him. And my brother-in-law also stepped in to help me get away from him. And, Ben proceeded to tell him, "Jeremiah, now stop it," And he let me go for that time. And I get to the phone and I'm trying to call his support services staff, because Jeremiah has CAP services now and an innovations waiver, and he also has a support services specialist that works with him usually 3 hours per day, Monday through Friday. And it's the middle of the night, and they're off duty. I tried calling them first, get no response from anyone. And so my last resort was to have to call 911. In the middle of me trying to get to the phone and get phone numbers for the support staff, I called them. I got no answer, like I said, but Jeremiah proceeds to grab me again, like he's trying to scratch my arm or tickle me. I don't really know which one he was really going for, but his grip again was really tight. And so Ben and his brother, Ben has to work 12 hours today, but that's his heart, and I thank God for him. He had to get right back up and come separate Jeremiah and me again in the hallway. And Michael had to help him, and he pinned Jeremiah until he calmed down and realized that Ben wasn't going to move at all. And needless to say, by the time the ambulance and cops get here, Jeremiah is calm. He's just standing there like, nothing happened or anything. Then he proceeded to go out and sit in one of the chairs outside, and the officers were talking to him. He was really calm with them. And then by the time the paramedics got here, he wanted his teddy bear. So I went to the bedroom and I got the teddy bear, and we proceeded to go on into the ER. Well, when we get to the ER, he is still calm, not being aggressive, not showing them any signs of aggression. So by the time the doctors come in, they're checking in for stuff medically, physically wrong with Jeremiah first, and we can already rule that out as not anything medically wrong with my son. And so the doctor that initially saw him said that he would consult with psych to see where we went from there. And when psych got there, basically I was told, "Oh, there's nothing we can do. Do you know if your support people have emergency contact numbers?" I said, "Well, I tried to call them before I got to you to try to prevent having to come here." Jeremiah has gone into the ED department, psych place, previously on more than one occasion. But this particular doctor, I guess, was determined, nah, he too calm, whatever, take him back home. And I mean, what if the same thing happens all over again? What am I supposed to do? I mean, it's me that he's grabbing after, and he don't really have a reason. I just feel like that it's sad that there's not more help, emergency type help for people that deal with any kind of mental disorders. To send him home and knowing that he's been aggressive with me as a caretaker and as somebody who also has a chronic illness, sickle cell anemia. You know, I don't need to be going through anything physical with Jeremiah. And I mean, to go over there and spend them hours over there and be back home at 3 a.m., you know, that was pretty, it made me angry. Like, you know, I'm doing my part. What more can I do? You know, what more can I do? And it gets to be overwhelming. This is my way of getting it out of my system. I do have strong faith. I do love my child. And to watch them go through that kind of thing is the toughest thing in the world, because no parent wants to see their child suffering, and there's really nothing you can do. But it pushes me to a place where I know I have to depend on God, and thank God that my journey hasn't been as hard as some people I know's struggle have been. I have had to go through guardianship, and all kind of questionnaire paperwork has come in since he's 18 now, and trying to get his SSI and things like that set up for him. Normally he's very easy to work with and very happy-go-lucky, but when he goes into this side of his illness, I mean, he can be a very different person. And you feel like you're in a rock and a hard place, but I just needed to share this with you guys, because this is not an easy task by any means. Hopefully this will be over when I wake up some point today, because like I said, I've been over 24 hours right now. And since he's resting, it's pretty much like a baby. When he rests, then I better get my rest too, because you don't know what Jeremiah you're gonna get when he does wake back up. I mean, for him to be done took the amount of medicine that he takes and stay up all night, I mean, seriously, it's enough to kill the average person. And I mean, to soothe him and try to calm him a little bit, we colored. I have an adult coloring book that I just bought myself, and he has his own coloring book. And I said, well, you know, we're gonna sit here and color some pictures, and you know, and I listened to Joel Osteen and Joyce Meyer, you know, to try to keep my focus on what's positive about Jeremiah. And I know he's going to come back to himself, and I do believe that this trial is only to add to the testimony that me and Jeremiah have. So thank you for watching this video and seeing the journey that I have to go through, because it can be a very lonely place in this. But I try to share things when he's not in earshot or he's asleep, because I don't want that to encourage him to continue to act out. And so on that note, I'm going to say good night to you all. Yes, good night. I know it's morning. It's a beautiful day out there, and I can hear the birds singing. But this girl is very, very tired. I already don't sleep well, so while I can try to get me a nap in, because that's probably all it will be, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, but I will try to keep you updated on what happens in the aftermath of this whole situation. Have a great day.